Yeah, what is good, guys? I hope you all had a good weekend. We got a big week ahead of us in the markets. As you all saw, we squeezed on Friday, and I don't necessarily think that upside is done. So make sure to show this video some love, give it a like and subscribe so you always know what's coming next. And make sure to watch this whole thing through because you don't want to be on the wrong side of the markets. And with that being said, let's just hop into it. So, as you know, we squeezed on Friday. We had an extraordinary move up, and if you watched my last video, you were probably prepared for it, and that's what I'm going to show you. So we can just kind of explain that as he goes through. If this breaks the neckline, which is right here, as you can see, this is kind of like it's trying to get above this thing. If it gets above it, I think it's gonna fly and squeeze some shorts out because there's a lot of energy down here. So, and here's that pattern, that inverse head and shoulders, being completed. We broke that trend line, and we squeezed like crazy. And if you were in the Discord, you were also well aware of this, as of what was coming. And right before last week on Monday, made this video, did some research and all of that. If you want to be in this, I'll have that in the description. Make sure to join it. I'm not sure why you wouldn't, but this is where I was talking about it. I was really thinking it was going to bounce from that bottom trend line. And I gave all these targets for XPXL, which is what I like to trade. When SPY moves 1%, XPXL moves 3%. It's a leveraged ETF, and I love trading it. So I gave these price targets on it. While it was $60, right now it's 72, high 72s, and that's the price target I gave. Those high 72s. So that's where I took profit on Friday. It doesn't hurt to make money. It doesn't hurt to take profits, and that's where I took it. So I really didn't see any more downside. I also bought shares at 365, which I believe I mentioned in one of my earlier videos. And if you're in here, you probably know that too. But yeah, we were set up for a squeeze this week. All the data was there. That's what I was talking about. We got these big trend lines, and here we are. We're bouncing. So now it's time to question where we're gonna get rejected, how much higher we can go. Is this just the beginning or a bear market rally? So, that's what this video is gonna be about. So make sure to watch the whole thing because this is important info. As for the trend lines, these are the big ones I've been watching, and we got that crazy balance. And those gaps, those let me put those up quick. You want to be watching the gaps because these are leading the way. And we filled one on Friday. It was insane to watch, but it was expected once we broke that neckline. I was really watching for that bottom gap, and we were moving towards it, but we bounced off of a longer term trend line, which comes back from late 2021. I don't have that up, but that's where that bounce came from, and we were going towards it. I got tricked out here, and it did nothing but go up. It's a lot of people were thinking the same thing. A lot of bears got trapped right here, as well as down here. That's why I mentioned there's so much energy down here. There was so many people shorting at these levels, at this last support, and all that energy was just sitting there. And once we broke that top trend line, all those shorts went underwater, and it was just a domino effect from there. And you filled that gap, and you got one more gap right above us. So we're looking at really which gap is going to get filled first. You could come in. I don't think we're going to fill this right away. If we do go towards it, I think we could get rejected at the bottom of it. We could get a bull trap by going into the middle of it, coming back to fill this one, which we made on Friday morning. Maybe even this bottom one, but it's hard to say when you have all these gaps. You're in a gap, you got a gap below you, and a gap above you. So it's hard to say where it's going to go right away. There are bearish signals on the shorter term, time frames, but as I've been stressing, the longer time frames are extremely bullish. So they have a very strong bullish setup, which can always, fundamentals can always override the technicals, but the technicals, they kind of give you the hints of what can happen with fundamental factors, almost kind of predicting the future, uh, which is pretty interesting. But it's not my job to question it. It's just my job to trade it and make money off of it. So we're watching the big picture here, because if you break out of this big pattern I've been watching for a long time, um, you know, there's a lot of room to go up, and there's a lot of uh, energy or like fuel left from these shorts that's still there. He trapped a lot down here, and here it is just unraveling. Uh, so if you get that big break to that top of the trend line, which could be around here, I don't think we're gonna fill it right away, as I said. But if you break it, you got a lot of room. You know, the teens, the 400 teens area, and the high 420s, like 430. You got a gap there too, as well as that gap at 438. So we can get up there, go much higher than anyone's anticipating. But I really have been saying, since we were down here, that we could get all the way back up to 420, 430. Just with all the energy setting up on those longer time frames, which you can see from the MACD and RSI. This is what I've been looking at in the Discord. If this rejects, you could see some big rejection, if this can't cross, and show that even more bullish energy can basically confirm it. So this is what I'm really, really watching, that MACD to cross over or not. But the setup it's so just unique. This is really a once in a lifetime setup. The MACD's never been this low, and it's a very unique setup. You haven't had a macro pattern of this magnitude ever before, except in 2008, which I made a video on with that fractal, where it's identical. Make sure to check that out if you haven't watched it, because that's what I'm going to show you right now as a precaution that you want to take and be aware of as a possibility. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it's just something you want to be aware of that can happen. I took that the candles from 2008, and I overlaid them on 2022 this year, and it's the exact same. Down to the gaps, down to the candles, down to the structure, it's the same. However, which way you want to put it, but it's the same pattern, same structure, same setup. It's identical. And right now, if we are going to do this fractal, right now we are right here, where it bounces, and then it breaks this bottom trend line, and it does nothing but fall. Relentlessly just goes down with no breaks. We probably see a circuit breaker for the first time in a while, but keep that in mind. It's a possibility. So really right now, you're just gonna want to be watching for where we're gonna stop. It's really up to those gaps in my mind. Are we gonna find support or resistance at the bottom of it? Are we gonna go into the middle of it? Or are we just gonna get rejected at this gap right here, and fill this one? Or are you just not gonna fill it? You're gonna fall through. There's a lot of possibilities when there's this many gaps, because the gaps act as magnets, and SPY likes to fill them. So which one are we gonna fill first? That's the question. I got my shares at 365, so I'm not sure when I'll sell those, but I'm still holding on to those, and I'm watching Meta, Facebook Meta. I'm watching that because I think there's a very good setup for it right now. So I'm probably looking to get into that this week, and I'll probably put it in my next video, but I'm really watching meta. So for now, you don't want to be on the wrong side of this thing. I don't think the squeeze is done. We could get some pullbacks, but as I showed you, those longer time frames have a lot of room to go up. The only fear I have is that fractal, which I don't know if that will play out, but we got to keep it as a possibility. So there's not really much else to say. I said all I needed to say. We just gotta play the gaps and adjust accordingly. So that's where I'm gonna leave this video. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. You know, I can get a little more information and, you know, just see where it seems to be going. But that's where I'm gonna leave this video. Make sure to show this video some love. Give it a like and subscribe. Check out the Discord if you want to be in there and be a part of all that. And we'll see how tomorrow goes. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. Peace out, guys.